Hello. I am Jimmy Dolan, and I am from Plattsburgh, New York. Wow, that was more of a surprise response than I thought I was going to get. Yeah, I definitely have bits and pieces of the Plattsburgh look. Thankfully, they're the ones that don't say I steal catalytic converters or deal drugs. It's really weird being from a town that is famous for putting a spicy meat sauce on a hot dog and then naming it after a different state. It's a lot like in The Simpsons. You know how Springfield and Shelbyville have that rivalry? That is exactly what Burlington and Plattsburgh is like. Plattsburgh is that redheaded stepchild to Burlington. Plattsburgh is the questionable family member that's happy he won a Tide Pod challenge. Burlington has to have the important conversation with the kids right before Thanksgiving dinner about Plattsburgh. Now kids, your cousin Plattsburgh's coming over tonight for dinner, so let's just do our best, we'll mind our manners, we'll be polite, and remember, if they offer you anything, especially candy, just politely refuse. Yeah, then Plattsburgh comes in the front door without even knocking, just poof, party's here, bitches! You can see the tin of chewing tobacco in the back pocket, the Mountain Dew bottle that I used to spit my tobacco juice in. I got a big classy t-shirt with a middle finger on it, and a trucker hat that says, I heart big tits. Go straight to the refrigerator, crack open a beer, walk in the living room, put on the NFL game, and I just start yelling at the refs after every other play, because I got $20 on this game. Then I kick my dirty shoes on the coffee table, start fingering my navel, talking about the good old days of Plattsburgh, yeah. We used to have the Air Force Base and 2 shopping malls. And the college kids used to be in session for St. Patrick's Day. And everybody would just flood into the city and get hammered on green beer. And then end the night on slices of cold cheese at Pizza Bono. But no, Dad and the Fun Police had to take it all away, didn't you, Dad? Now what do we got? The Battle of Plattsburgh Parade? Yeah, and then we have to share the popularity of Champion with you? Thanks a lot, Dad. You're not even a real father. And so what if I failed chemistry in high school? I know what I'm doing when I cook meth. I'm not an idiot. I got my GED. No thanks to you, Dad. So I'm from Plattsburgh. My mom moved us back home to Plattsburgh the summer I was going into the 3rd grade. And that first week of school was when I found out I was colorblind. I also found out that our school nurse should not have been around children. Yeah. She was quite evil, and I know for a fact that she was the mother of Satan. And remember, this took place at a Catholic elementary school. I remember walking into her office, and what should have been a warm, heartfelt greeting was just a simple command. Sit down. She has her back to me for a brief moment, and I'm sitting next to a 5th grader named Matt, and I have no clue what's going on. Looking back on it, I know for a fact that she was doing shots of puppy blood, and she was on the phone with her son, you know, the Prince of Darkness. Okay, sweetie, Mama's gotta let you go. I'm about to make a 3rd grader cry. You be Mama's evil boy. I'll summon you later on my Ouija board. So she turns around, and there's a thin book in her hand. And that book is Ishihari's Tests for Color Deficiency. I see the word test in the title, and I'm immediately nervous like a Cocker Spaniel trying not to piss on the floor. She opens up this book and just simply says, tell me, what do you see? No explanations, nothing. She just opens up, and Matt is next to me. She's turning the pages. He's saying 4, 7, 9. There's an omega symbol, straight line, 42. And me, I'm just deer in headlights, like, what's an omega symbol? So she slams the book shut and just goes, go back to your classroom. I'm like, Matt gets up and goes. I pause for a brief moment, and then I stand up and I ask the million-dollar question regretfully. I was like, how did I do? She just looks at me with her cold, dead, great white shark eyes and goes, you are colorblind. Go back to your classroom and cry like the baby you are. The cross that was on the wall as I was leaving was upside down. So I'm walking back to my classroom and I think about a friend of mine in New Jersey that was blind. And my third grade logic is, holy shit, if I'm colorblind, I'm never gonna see colors again. And this hits me like a bolt of lightning and I lose it. I get to my classroom and my third grade teacher, Mrs. Brush, she's an angel. She's just like, Jimmy, why are you crying? And I'm just like, there's said I'm colorblind. Does that mean I'm never gonna see colors again? And she's just like, no, Jimmy, it does not work that way. Colorblind just means you see colors differently from everybody else. You're always gonna see colors. So later that day, Mrs. Brush had called my mom and explained what had happened. So my mom, she does what she was doing the best. She was just explaining to me what colorblind was and that my grandfather was colorblind. And so my mom, she goes, you know, your grandfather, he had to memorize those answers on that silly test so he could get into the Air Force. And then you know what he did? He was able to go to Europe and fight the Nazis with his angry eyes. No, my mom does not sound like Mrs. Potato Head from a Toy Story. I just love giving her that voice whenever I talk about her. Love you, Mom. So I love telling that story because I told that to my girlfriend on our first date 8 years ago, so I'm doing something right. And it was actually here in Burlington too, woohoo. And the other week we did a little dinner and movie date night, and boy, I gotta tell you, you know the food is good when you start talking to it. Oh my God. Whew. Oh. Baby. Oh, you are so farm to table. Oh, and you're gluten-free? Oh. The waiter stops by and he's just like, sir, do you need a cigarette? So instead of going out to the movies, Penny and I decided to stay in for the night, and we watched the classic, Twilight. No, I'm sorry. Yeah. I have seen every single one of those movies in one sitting. Twice. I'm a loser. It's okay. I would love to be a werewolf, but I'd be like the English bulldog of werewolves. I obviously do not have the body for Team Jacob. But I'm colorblind, so that's a plus. I got that going for me. But it's really hard to be a bulldog a werewolf if you're afraid of the vacuum cleaner. It's gonna get me! Or thunder and lightning. Jesus Christ, what was that? You know, I can't be a terrifying werewolf. I could just see it now. Big, beautiful full moon. My pack is running around, just wreaking havoc. And there I am, just off on the side, just eating shit and barking at the moon. The little bit of guilt I would have about being a werewolf is I would hate my mailman for no valid reason whatsoever. Audience applause. Is anybody like Postal Service, FedEx? Yeah, you know, oh yeah, sympathy claps. That's okay. I can still smell your fear. That's about as scary as it gets. How am I supposed to be a terrifying werewolf if I'm having nightmares about going to the vet and getting neutered? I wake up in a panic feeling for the cone of shame. Oh God, oh God, oh God. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank you, boys. Let me give you a little licking. Although the best part about being a werewolf, I could poop and pee wherever the hell I want. Oh, fire hydrant. That's fine. Oh, here's a tree. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, time to do what I do best. Yeah, I'm from Plattsburgh. Yeah, I'm a good boy. Woo-hoo! All right, Vermont Comedy Club, that's my time. Thank you so much for laughing at me. Have a great night.